Chapter 7 gives us a better understanding of the importance of distance learning as well as the issues teachers should consider. Before actually reading the book, I expected to comprehend the definition of distance learning completely and understand the system by which distance learning can take place, meaning which technology can be integrated into distance learning. I also expected to learn more about advantages and disadvantages of distance learning because of the specific obstacles that I hate to deal with during the online classes that I took. And Chapter 7 gave me more than I expected, and also it gave me information about what I should and must do and know as a teacher. As being said in the book, thanks to technology's ability to instruct without a teacher's direct presence, nowadays we can time shift instruction, which means experience at some time after the live lessons, and place shift instruction, experience at some place away from the live teacher. And that's how distance learning came from. Distance learning can take place via telecommunication, embracing a variety of technology and media configurations, including telephone and television. Distance learning has many advantages. First is variety of media. Since internet can contain a variety of media, including text, audio, graphics, and so on, distance learning can satisfy students' different types of learning styles and intelligence. The second is up-to-date information. With the ability to connect to resources in the community and around the world, the students can access libraries and databases that are often updated on a daily basis. Third, the ideas exchanged. The students can engage in conversations with experts in specific fields of studies. They can also talk to another students, which make the distance learning very interactive. Fourth, the convenient communication. Students can speak or email to each other at different times and respond at their own convenience. For advantages of distance learning can take place, the instructional telecommunication system must perform specific numbers of functions. First is the information presentation, which means the information during the distance learning can be performed during the teacher's-led or student-centered approach. Example, teacher's presentation or student's presentation. Second, practice with feedback. Learners learn best when they are participating actively or mentally processing the material, so teachers can contain many activities in the classroom such as question and answer, discussion, or testing. Third, teachers need to assure the students access to learning resources and external learning resources, for example, computer database, kits, or library materials. On the other hand, there are also limitations. First, students can access to inappropriate materials on the internet. Students may violate the copyright law because they can copy and pass some information on the internet without giving credit to the authors. Due to the significant number of information updated every day, students may face with the finding information difficulty, and there is also lack of quality control. And without good technical support and thoughtful management, a computer network may die quickly. There are also some critical issues arising from distance learning. First is security on the information students should and should not give on the internet. There's also a need to monitor students' use about the appropriate behavior and appropriate content. Accordingly, there's need to have the supervision inside and outside of school using a useful web software such as Snapter, NetNancy, or Content Barrier. There are also acceptable use policies and etiquette. Acceptable use policies are agreements among students, parents, or guardians, and the school administration outlining what is considered proper use of the internet by all parties involved. In most states, departments of education have generated resources to assist educators in developing an AUP or acceptable use policy to use in their schools. Netiquette are the rules of the road which apply to emails or any interactions on web. Teachers are required to communicate in professional manners by keeping the message short and simple, identifying teachers somewhere in the communication, not using sarcasm, considering copyright during the interaction, and keeping content as private and safe as possible because email can be intercepted or forwarded. Personally, I found Chapter 7 very interesting and useful since I could search for more information on the internet and I could also reflect on my experiences during reading the chapter. Because I had taken several online classes before, so I compared and contrasted and also reflected on my experiences about the disadvantages and limitations of the distant learning as listed in the book. There were many obstacles that I had to confront with during the online classes because of the lack of the ability to interact face-to-face with the instructor. Therefore, I thought about what I had wanted my instructors to help me to overcome those difficulties and what can I as a teacher do to help my students in the future. WebQuest was a new internet material to me, so in order to have a better understanding, I searched for its definitions and applications online. I also examined one example of how the teacher helped the students distinguish 4 seasons in a year using WebQuest. I also participated in online discussion which helped me to understand about distant learning at different perspectives coming from the other pre-service teachers rather than my own. I actually learned a lot from this chapter. I learned about copyright law. I assumed several actions were acceptable, but they are illegal, violating the copyright law. For example, forwarding an email without permission or adding links without noticing the other people or mentioning the original links to give the author credits. Copyright law is highly expected and totally protected by law, which may be new for many students coming from the other countries. I saw friends who simply copied and pasted some part on the internet without knowing that all materials on the internet are also subject to copyright unless stated otherwise. Teachers must complete many tasks rather than simply assigning homework, reading a discussion, or grading submitted paper. They have to work with their school's technology specialists to make sure that all students get access to the required resources and so on, and to make sure that no one is falling behind.